Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Musk to integrate xAI startup with social media platform X. China startup 01.ai hits $1 billion value with top-ranked open source model. We must stop AI replicating the problems of surveillance capitalism. Elon Musk unveils new sarcasm-loving AI chatbot for premium X users. Why crypto is a poor relation of digital payments. Musk to integrate xAI startup with social media platform X. Deutsche Welle. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence, AI, startup, xAI, will be integrated into his social media platform, X. xAI recently released its first AI model, a bot named Grok, which is available to X Premium Plus subscribers. Grok is designed to answer questions with a bit of wit and has a rebellious streak. While Musk has previously called for a temporary halt to AI development, his own AI company was founded around the same time. Musk has warned about the potential dangers of AI and believes it could be the most disruptive force in history. China startup 01.ai hits $1 billion value with top-ranked open source model. South China Morning Post. Chinese startup 01.ai has achieved unicorn status in less than 8 months with its open source artificial intelligence (AI) model. The company, which has a valuation exceeding $1 billion, released its large language model, E34B, which is trained on vast quantities of data to read, understand, and produce human-like text, images, and code. The model outperformed others on key metrics, including Meta Platforms' Llama 2. The company plans to create proprietary alternatives tailored to specific industries or competitive situations, and is already working on a model with more than 100 billion parameters. 01.ai, founded by computer scientist Kai-Fu Lee, was backed by Alibaba's cloud unit and Tencent in a funding round earlier this year. We must stop AI replicating the problems of surveillance capitalism. Financial Times. The current focus on artificial intelligence, AI, regulation should be broadened to include economic data disclosure, writes Rana Foroohar in the Financial Times. She argues that while discussions around AI have centered on preventing futuristic disasters, such as nuclear war or pandemics, the real-time problem is the concentration of user data and attention controlled by a handful of technology giants. Foroohar states that enhanced disclosures are needed to effectively regulate these platforms, and calls for a public disclosure scheme to be established based on key metrics such as user numbers and time spent on a site. Elon Musk unveils new sarcasm-loving AI chatbot for premium X users. The Independent. Elon Musk has unveiled a new AI chatbot called Grok, which he claims has real-time knowledge and a sense of humor. Musk stated that Grok has an advantage over other models like OpenAI's ChatGPT. The chatbot, inspired by Robert Heinlein's sci-fi novel Stranger in a Strange Land, will initially be available to a limited number of users in the US for testing and feedback. Musk has been critical of OpenAI's model, stating that it is too politically correct. Earlier this year, he hired AI experts to develop a rival to ChatGPT. Why crypto is a poor relation of digital payments. Financial Times. The Network State Conference in Amsterdam brought together crypto enthusiasts and executives to discuss the potential of a crypto financial system to revolutionize society. The conference highlighted the growing enthusiasm for technology-driven change and the discontent with the established financial and geopolitical order. The resurgence of interest in Bitcoin and the speculation of a Bitcoin ETF gaining approval from BlackRock were seen as drivers of the crypto movement. However, the digital payments sector still has a bright outlook, with the shift toward smartphone-based payments being seen as an unstoppable trend. CIIE update, U.S. envoy urges stepped-up trade, Intel optimistic. Bloomberg. The U.S. ambassador to China, Nicholas Burns, and Australian Trade Minister Don Farrell have both expressed optimism about improving trade ties with China. Burns stated that the U.S. is not in favor of decoupling the two economies and called for even greater trade, highlighting agriculture as a successful aspect of the trade relationship. Farrell said that Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's visit to China is a sign of the positive direction of bilateral relations and expressed hope for the return of Australian wine and rock lobster to Chinese dinner tables. Intel Corp also remains positive on the Chinese market and is developing AI products for the PC and chip market in China. China faces new U.S. chip rules, 5 things to know. Nikkei Asia. Nvidia's business in China has come under scrutiny after the U.S. imposed earlier-than-expected restrictions on the export of its most advanced products, forcing the chip developer to tweak its offerings for the Chinese market. However, the revised export rules, which come into effect on November 16, threaten Nvidia's sales in one of its most lucrative markets. The rules require companies to apply for a license to ship cutting-edge AI chips to China and other designated markets. The tighter controls expand on export restrictions introduced in October 2020, which aim to curb Beijing's chip ambitions. The updated rules also apply to more countries, including Iran and Russia. The restrictions are expected to result in higher costs and longer development times for AI chips, as well as making it harder for Chinese AI chip startups to work with leading global chipmakers. Chinese chip developers may need to find domestic production partners due to the pressure from the US. Can a Floridian win the presidency? It hasn't happened yet as Trump and DeSantis vie to be first. Associated Press. There has been a recent shift in the political landscape of Florida. Despite being the nation's third largest state, Florida has not yet produced a presidential candidate who has won. However, the state has become more influential in national politics, particularly since the 2000 election, in which George W. Bush won by a margin of just 537 votes. Since then, Florida has been a key swing state, supporting both Republicans and Democrats. Today, it is considered a reliably Republican state. The population of Florida has grown rapidly in recent decades, and its demographics have shifted significantly. While the north of the state remains largely conservative, the rest of the state is more diverse and politically mixed. In the 2016 and 2020 presidential elections, Florida supported Donald Trump. Trump is once again leading in Florida polls, and it is expected that the state will continue to produce presidential candidates in the future, including Ron DeSantis, Marco Rubio, and Rick Scott. Rishi Sunak risks walking headlong into the next tech bubble. Telegraph. Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto mogul who was recently convicted for misappropriating and embezzling customer funds, was able to fool many people for a long time because he had an audience that wanted to believe in him, writes Matthew Lynn in The Telegraph. Bankman-Fried threw vast sums at Democrat political causes, making him a political kingmaker and attracting the support of media, celebrities, and regulators. Lynn suggests that the desire to enhance personal wealth and marketability may have driven bureaucrats and administrators to support Bankman-Fried and other crypto figures. Inspired by online dating, AI tool for adoption matchmaking falls short for vulnerable foster kids. Yahoo! Child Protective Services agencies have wrestled for decades with how to find lasting homes for such vulnerable children and teens, a challenge so enormous that social workers can never guarantee a perfect fit. Into this morass stepped Thea Ramirez with what she touted as a technological solution, an artificial intelligence-powered tool that ultimately can predict which adoptive families will stay together. Ramirez claimed this algorithm, designed by former researchers at an online dating service, could boost successful adoptions across the U.S. and promote efficiency at cash-strapped child welfare agencies. ICYMI, Kylie is well and truly in her villain era, but Disney seems to have forgotten how to write one. ABC. Over the weekend, Kylie Minogue performed her first-ever Las Vegas residency, titled More Than a Residency. The performance received high praise and comes after the release of her new album, which debuted at #1 on Billboard's Dance/Electronic Albums chart. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted its 2023 class over the weekend, which included female music royalty such as Tina Turner, Carole King, and Chaka Khan. The Real Housewives franchise is facing criticism as former Housewives and Bravo stars have filed lawsuits and alleged mistreatment. An exposé by Vanity Fair has shed light on how the franchise allegedly fails to care for its stars' mental health. British actress Jodie Comer has spoken out about the lack of support she received from the creators of Killing Eve after being hospitalized for mental health reasons. TikTok users have expressed their disappointment with Disney's upcoming musical Wish, comparing the songs to those of Lin-Manuel Miranda and stating that Disney is in a flop era. Dance Rights, an annual festival that showcases Indigenous Australian dance, is set to return after a 3-year hiatus. The festival will take place at the Sydney Opera House and will feature 350 performers from various Indigenous Australian communities. Finally, Drew Barrymore's talk show took an unexpected turn when her longtime friend and former babysitter proposed to her on stage. Musk launches AI chatbot with a little humor. BBC. Elon Musk has launched an AI chatbot called Grok on his social media site X. The chatbot is currently only available to selected users. Musk claims that Grok is the best AI chatbot currently available and that it loves sarcasm. However, early tests have shown that Grok suffers from common AI problems, such as declining to answer some questions. Musk said that Grok would answer spicy questions that other AI systems reject. The chatbot is currently in beta testing and will eventually be available to paying subscribers of X. Ant Group wins approval to release AI products to Chinese public. Reuters. Ant Group, the financial affiliate of Alibaba Group, has received approval from the Chinese government to release products powered by its Bailing Artificial Intelligence (AI) language model to the public. In China, companies must undergo security assessments and receive clearance before releasing AI products to the public. Ant Group had previously unveiled a finance-specific AI model and started testing consumer and professional apps for the products. Short selling ban sparks biggest Korea equities rally since 2021. Bloomberg. South Korea resumed a full ban on short selling on Sunday, a move that sent stocks surging. The move was intended to protect retail investors ahead of upcoming elections, but could deter foreign funds and complicate Korea's bid to achieve developed market status in MSCI's indexes. The ban will be in effect until the end of June 2024, and covers equities on the KOSPI 200 index and KOSDAQ 150 index. Short selling accounted for just 0.6% of the KOSPI's market value and 1.6% of the KOSDAQ's, according to exchange data. First FT/PA could play central role in Gaza, Antony Blinken tells Mahmoud Abbas. Financial Times. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has told Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas that the U.S. sees the PA as playing a central role in any post-Hamas government in Gaza, according to a U.S. official. Blinken's comments came during a visit to the occupied West Bank in which he held talks with Abbas. However, Abbas insisted that the PA would only assume power in Gaza as part of a comprehensive political solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Blinken's visit comes as calls for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict intensify. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your trusted observer from the 6 Degrees world. Today, we dive into the world of artificial intelligence, where Elon Musk's xAI startup integrates with his social media platform, China's xAI achieves unicorn status, and the Financial Times calls for enhanced disclosures to regulate technology giants. But that's not all, we also explore the world of crypto, international trade relations, and the political landscape of Florida. Plus, we have updates on Ant Group's AI products, South Korea's short-selling ban, and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to the Palestinian Authority. So, let's get started. Elon Musk is at it again, integrating his AI startup, xAI, with his social media platform, X. He has introduced a new AI chatbot called Grok, which he claims has real-time knowledge and a sense of humor. But don't expect Grok to hold back on the sarcasm. Meanwhile, China's xAI has achieved unicorn status with its open-source AI model, E34B. This model outperforms others and has a valuation exceeding $1 billion. However, while AI continues to advance, there are growing concerns about its regulation. Rana Foroohar of the Financial Times argues that the focus should also be on economic data disclosure to effectively regulate technology giants. In the world of crypto, the Network State Conference in Amsterdam brought together enthusiasts and executives to discuss the potential of a crypto financial system. The enthusiasm for technology-driven change is growing, but the digital payments sector still has a bright outlook. The shift toward smartphone-based payments is seen as an unstoppable trend. On the international trade front, there is optimism about improving trade ties with China. U.S. Ambassador Nicholas Burns and Australian Trade Minister Don Farrell express hope for greater trade and positive bilateral relations. Intel Corp also remains positive on the Chinese market, developing AI products for the PC and chip market. Moving on, there are new chip export rules that threaten Nvidia's business in China. The U.S. has imposed restrictions that require companies to apply for a license to ship cutting-edge AI chips to China. This could result in higher costs, longer development times, and difficulties for Chinese AI chip startups. The pressure from the U.S. may push Chinese chip developers to find domestic production partners. And speaking of pressure, there is a shift in the political landscape of Florida. While the state has not yet produced a winning presidential candidate, its influence in national politics has grown. Florida is now considered a reliably Republican state, and names like Ron DeSantis, Marco Rubio, and Rick Scott are expected to be in the running for future presidential candidates. Now, let's turn our attention to some interesting stories. There's a cautionary tale about crypto mogul Sam Bankman-Fried, who was recently convicted for misappropriation and embezzlement. It seems that his support from politicians, media, and celebrities was driven by personal gain rather than genuine belief. In the world of adoption, an AI tool designed to match foster kids with adoptive families falls short. The challenge of finding lasting homes for vulnerable children is a complex one that technology alone cannot solve. And in the entertainment world, Kylie Minogue wows audiences with her first Las Vegas residency, while the Real Housewives franchise faces criticism for its alleged mistreatment of stars. To wrap things up, Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok brings a touch of humor to the world of artificial intelligence. Ant Group receives approval to release AI products in China, South Korea bans short selling to protect retail investors, and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken emphasizes the role of the Palestinian Authority in any post-Hamas government in Gaza. It's been an eventful day in the world of AI, crypto, politics, and entertainment. Now, I invite you, my dear viewers, to share your thoughts. What do you make of these developments? Do you have any burning questions? Let's discuss. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.